So in starting a business, you're going to have some basic fundamentals, but one of the very first things I do when I'm looking to start a new venture, and I've owned many, many businesses, is the first thing I do, the most successful, by the way, is by far real estate. But I'll tell you how I basically came to, okay, this is what I want to do, because this can help you if you're deciding, hey, what business do I want to do and what is the potential? I start with a first couple questions, and the first question is, how scalable is this new venture that I'm looking at? Now, when I mean scalable, we can skip forward and answer this question very quickly, and I'll tell you how I come to this conclusion. Is, let's just say you want to start an ice cream stand, or whatever, right? Like a brick and mortar, selling ice cream, right? Or it could be a massage parlor, or it could be, something like that. Okay, you have to ask yourself this: what is the business potential, the business cap, and basically, can I ever remove myself from it? So you have to ask yourself, okay, if I was doing massages, right? This is just an example here. Let's say that each massage takes 30 minutes, okay? I'm there for 8 hours a day, so I know I could do 16 massages if I never took a break, if I never went to go eat, if I never had, customers to, it's not possible, right? But you could say, okay, let's pretend, best case scenario, we could work like robots and we could do 16 per day at $100 a massage, right? Throw our numbers out there, right? The business potential and the cap at the current market rate would be $1,600 a day. Now, you're probably not open 30 days a month as well, right? So you do times, let's just say 5 days a week, maybe 6 days a week, okay? So without the fancy math, because I'm looking at my phone and I can't use it right now, 1,600 times 6 per week, that would be an unrealistic, but that would be the cap which you would be able to make in that business, in that industry, doing the absolute running the max, which is very unlikely, by the way, but that would be its absolute cap, for instance, okay? And then this would be to figure out a month, a year, whatever, right? But this is not realistic. This is just to give you an idea. This business potential has a cap of X, okay? Now, you want a business potential that's basically infinitely scalable, okay? Now, what does that mean potentially, right? And the way I got into real estate was I said, okay, if I had one rental property and I had a property manager overlooking it, for instance, how much time does that take once I've established a property and said, here, property manager, you take it over, put a tenant in there, and, just go from there, right? Having one property doesn't take up any more of my time. Having 5 properties doesn't take up any more of my time. The property manager is taking care of it all, right? So the difference of having one property and making $500 a month, having 5 properties making $2,500 a month, I'm not outputting any more of my time. So my income potential is basically infinite, right? Because now I'm realizing, this was me, a long time ago, saying, okay, wait a second. So the difference of having 10 properties and 100 properties is not really much more work, as long as I have a property manager, or property managers in this case, overseeing all of my properties, right? And I can focus on actually driving the business upwards by looking for properties, buying them right, buying them with equity, turning them over to the property manager, and then doing it again and again and again. Now, you might make $100,000 the first year, and then the next year $150,000, and then the next year $200,000. Fast forward, you're making $500,000 a year for the same amount of effort than you first started at year one. Probably actually less, because now you have systems in place. That is the way that I look at it. It's infinitely scalable. Here's another example, right? Let's say you are a tennis coach, right? And you are really, really good. And you're like, hey, I live in California, Los Angeles, and I can show people all over the world how to do this thing that I do really good, right? So now what you're able to do is you're able to digitalize this product, and you're able to sell it to however many people you can get to buy it, right? So now you can say, okay, I can help, 20 people locally, or I can help 20,000 globally, okay? Now you have to ask yourself, if somebody bought 100 courses while you slept, how much time does that take of you? It takes nothing. You don't even know about it. You wake up and say, oh, cool, sold 100 courses, right? Or if you sold 1,000, it's infinitely scalable, okay? And that's when I look at a business, any business out there, I say, what is the income potential cap of this business? And am I okay with that? Because if the income cap is 110,000 and I might want to make, if I can talk today, 500,000, a million, even a million a year, then why are you going to start it? Because you'll never get there, right? Now, you can argue and say, oh, you can franchise out and that, maybe, okay? Yeah, that's possible, okay? But, and the franchise model could actually solve that issue if you can get to that point, if you can grow, if you can show people that you have a good product, if you're profitable. Like you have to front load the work in order to actually be able to offer a product, because people are going to say, okay, you're offering me this franchise, but what do your numbers look like? In order for your numbers to be really good, you're going to have to put a lot of work into it. It's possible though, okay? There's not really a business out there that I want to say that is easy to get started. All businesses are going to take a lot of front-loaded effort. And majority of them, like way more than 9 out of 10, are going to fail. So my model is, if you're going to fail fast. Fail fast. I'd rather you fail 20 things in 5 years and eventually find a good one than to try a couple things, fail, and go work a W-2 the rest of your life, right? Like, that sucks. Like, nobody wants to do that, right? Or most people don't want to do it. If you're if you want to be an entrepreneur, you need to get out there, you need to try something, and like go all in until you realize that this angle or approach doesn't work, and then shift gears, okay? That's called failing fast. Get in, find, hey, is this working? And then go double hard on it. Or if it's not, cut ties. You know, once you've actually explored that, you know, if you say this, don't ride it into the dirt, you know, say, okay, this isn't working, let's shift gears, okay? There's lots of companies out there that the revenue starts to decline, they start new things. A lot of them waste a lot of money, and some of them can get revived as well by shifting gears. Hey, let's get on social media more, okay? Well, that's a gear you can shift. Hey, let's do commercials and stuff and try to sell that. Okay, well, that didn't work. That failed, and I'm actually talking about a real company that lost hundreds of millions of dollars recently. But nevertheless, you need to shift gears, and you need to be fluid with what you do. Start your thing, okay? Test it out. If it doesn't work after you put a valiant effort into it, switch gears, try something else, okay? Now, I'm not saying try it for a week and give up. That's not enough time, okay? You really need to find something that you're passionate about. You don't want to trade a 40-hour work week for an 80-hour work week, and you're just chasing the dollars that this brings, but you don't like what you do, okay? Because you're going to be unhappy here, I promise, okay? You want to do something that you are naturally good at, okay? I'm naturally good at sales. So I owned a motorcycle dealership for about 10 years. And I started in my dad's backyard. And in several years, I grew it to become the largest pre-owned sport bike dealership in Texas, right? I'm good at sales. And then when I sold off the company, I said, cool, what can I get into? And I can get into real estate. I'm actually semi-contemplating getting my license because I'm good at talking with people. I'm good at sales. I'm good at that stuff, right? I can, list somebody's home. Anyways, I am good at that. So I exploit, in a good way, what I can do. Naturally good. You are naturally good and better at things than other people, right? Whatever that thing that you're better, use that to your advantage. Use that towards the new business adventure you're looking at, because that automatically puts you steps ahead of the competition because you're naturally that good and you're naturally better in that niche, whatever that niche may be, right? So I don't want to keep this video going forever, but if you're looking at a business, look at it from those point of view. If you're interested in starting a new business this year and you want to bounce an idea off me, shoot me down in a comment below. I'd love to, check out and see what you're doing. Maybe offer an opinion as well. And until next time, see you guys around. Thanks for listening.